Where to go? Okay. Harry Lehmann, floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Yeah, good morning. I would like to start my talk with a short definition of philosophy. I think, in my opinion, philosophy is looking for simple questions which need a very complicated answer. And in this spirit, I would like to ask today two questions. Why did art become modern, and why did modern art come to an end? The questions are simple because you don't need any special knowledge, and they are in our culture embedded. And what I like to do is to present today a theoretical model. And the first step is, in a way, the observation that we talk in different contexts about different periods of art. And one characteristic is that they in a way react to each other. So classical modernism is a reaction to the classical academical art. Avant-garde rejected classical modernism. And the postmodernism is a reaction against the avant-garde art. And today we have contemporary artists which don't like to be labeled at all. The first step would be to say this reaction of these different art periods we can describe as logic of negation. So the code is that the new is the negation of the old. So that means the new art move negates the old art movement. But this is not enough in order to build a model. You need to know what are the basic elements of this logic of negations. And my suggestion is that we can describe art communication, or the three basic elements and components of art communication of the work, the medium, and the concept of art. With the work of art, it's clear what is the medium of art. I understand the medium of art always in relation to a special genre. Let's say to music, the medium of classical music are not only the pitches that are, it's for instance to the tonal system which organizes the pitches. So it's a law which organizes, precomposes in a way everything what you can compose as a work then afterwards. And in the same way, the perspective is constitutes the medium of classical painting. Okay, in this sense, my thesis is that we can describe the shift from classical traditional art to modern art as a process of internal differentiation of these three components: medium, work, and concept. It's a way of decoupling these components, and in the result, these components are not any longer firmly bound components, but freely bound components. And the result is that the contemporary arts have gained an internal steps of autonomy. Autonomy of the concept, autonomy of the medium, and autonomy of the work. My argument now is not only theoretical, it's in a way visual, because it's a very condensed presentation of the theory model. And I start with the work from Auguste Rodin, The Hand of God. And this piece is a classical piece, and the artwork shows in a way what the title says, The Hand of God, creating Adam and Eva. And that's why I would say that the components of the concept and the work is firmly bound, and the medium is the classical medium of sculpture, which has this precomposing law that the work should resemble the nature. My next example shows the hand of Giacometti, and everybody will immediately recognize this piece as a really modern piece. And the reason of that, I think, is that this piece negates the medium of classic sculpture. It follows a very different autology. We can define classical modernism as an art which reduces is reduced to the concept and the verb, firmly bound concept and verb. And it is not the aim of this work is not to show a natural human hand. Giacometti has a special concept about how what sculpture is and how he does his work, and it's more about an analysis about a hand and the function of a hand as a signal. Then it's a resemblance of nature, and like in classical sculpture. This is classical modernism reacts the avant-garde heavily, because in this kind of art it is bound, it keeps the idea and the category of the artwork. We see here a performance from Joseph Beuys. It's called Hand Action, and the rejection of the work becomes most apparently clear in a way by Duchamp. Duchamp invented the ready-made. The ready-made is an object. You don't work in, you don't shape this object, you buy this object. And in the same way, Joseph Beuys uses his hand, but he doesn't shape his hand. So avant-garde art is a radical conceptual art. It reduces art to these components of to the concept, and everything is it works without work and medium. Until this point, we can tell a story about art as a story of material progress or a story of abstraction. But in the 60s, this storytelling came to an end, and people started to speak about the end of art. The turning point is postmodernism. And postmodernism itself, by the name postmodernism, suggests that something in the modern art came to an end. But the problem is how to interpret this. And my suggestion is that the postmodern art cancels the negation of the medium. And we see here a piece from Bruce Nauman, which was exhibited 2 years ago on the Vienna Biennale. It's part of 15 pairs of hands, and it is in a way a classical sculpture, but in a I would say in an ironic way it is not, because it's quoting the tradition. Postmodern art is quoting, and it keeps in that way distance to the classical sculpture, the classical art. That's why with the postmodernist art, it re-includes the medium of art. It makes it possible to use the medium again. It breaks with the taboo of the avant-garde. But it became now an option to use the medium of the classical genres like sculpture or not to use it. And in order to illustrate it, you see here a gap between the segments of the concept and the medium. The postmodernist artwork is pluralistic. It allows different kind of viewpoints and interpretations, because it is playing with the tradition, it's playing with the forms. It doesn't build internal work. And this is usually seen as an advantage of postmodernist art, but contemporary artists see it sometimes as a disadvantage, and they call it the arbitrariness of postmodern art. And the way to fight with this is to reintroduce the verb as a third segment. You see here, as an example, the piece "Rot Front Left Over." It is a work from Anatoly Osmolovsky, and it's not very clear what it is. The object, the sculpture doesn't communicate the meaning of it. But you get access to this work by the title. Rot Front is the greeting of the German communists in the 20s and 30s, and you see here a memorial of one of the communist leaders, Lehmann, and he makes this greeting, Rot Front. What Osmolovsky did is to take modeling clay, take in his hand, and he got the impression of his hand. He got the impression of Rot Front, and you see, and then he enlarged this and caused it in bronze. So what you see here are fingerprints from his hand. So what this artwork is doing is it asks the question, what is left over from this whole communist idea? So I come to an end of this model. You see, in the contemporary art, there are works which rehabilitate the category of the work, and the result is a gain of autonomy and freedom. So you got the autonomy of the concept in the avant-garde art, the autonomy of the medium in the postmodernist art, and the autonomy of the work in some contemporary artworks. And it's not a law that this freedom is always used. So I made here a new example with the walking man, and you see at the end the work of Stella Hamburg, Berserker, and you see that I used the same diagram like in classical art. I think that this work doesn't use this gain autonomy. It doesn't keep the difference between concept, medium, and work. And in this way, I call it a naive modernism. It's naive in relation to the artistry. It doesn't keep these steps of freedom. It uses a style, a German expressionism. It has a reference to punk rocker. You see it in the face. But all this information you can see immediately, it is a message in a way. And this is very different from an artwork like Osmolovsky has done. This is really reflexive in relation to the history of the 19th, 20th century. Here are the components of medium work and concept really freely bound. This has these two possibilities to work with the internal differentiation of art as impact to its social function. Only if you work in a reflexive manner, you can intervene in the self-descriptions of a modern society, which is evolving and needs always to reshape and rewrite its self-descriptions. And this is possible with this reflexive modernist art. In contrary, I think that the works which are in a naive way modern, they only can give an affirmation of old social self-description, an affirmation of what we know already. So in this way, this model can reformulate the distinction between a critical art and an affirmative art, like Adorno did it in his aesthetic theory. But it is a very different model because Adorno didn't know anything about postmodernism, and he probably would say that postmodernist art was kind of conservative backlash. So I came to an end. Thank you very much.